A Liberal will always try to bend the rules to their advantage, and this is what's happened in the House of Commons last week with the tabling of a bill that Justin Trudeau has put forward to change Canada's election laws. Now, this bill does a lot of things which I want to talk to you about over the coming weeks, but there's one really concerning thing that my colleague Andrew Scheer raised in the House of Commons, our party leader, that is of particular interest. One of the things the bill does is restrict spending on campaigns in what's called the pre-writ period. The pre-writ period is the time before an election is called. Now, this might seem well and good on the surface, trying to level the playing field, I guess, if you wanted to make the argument. But what Andrew asked this week was very interesting, because to me, this is an example of the Liberals trying to bend the rules. Watch what Andrew asked and watch the Prime Minister's answer.
Mr. Speaker, every time this Prime Minister faces opposition either in this House or with the public, he takes away the tools that opposition parties have to hold him to account. Now, he is proposing to limit what political parties can do with money that Canadians have freely given to political parties. A very simple question. Will he impose the same restrictions on ministerial travel and government advertising in the lead up to the next election campaign?
Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, first of all, we know that it is the Conservative Party of Canada, when it was in government, that tried to tilt the rules to prevent people from voting and to make more money available for political parties because it helped them. They extended the writ period to try and outspend everyone, but Canadians didn't buy any of what they were selling, and that's why they're now on that side of the House. Mr. Speaker, we have put forward proposals to reform the Elections Act, and we look forward to that proposal getting to committee and hearing any and all the suggestions that the members opposite will make to improve and strengthen.
Isn't that interesting? So what our party leader, Andrew Scheer, just asked was, if you're going to restrict the pre-writ spending for political parties, which means that political parties can only spend so much money in the lead up to an election, are you also going to restrict the amount of taxpayer dollars that the government, aka the Liberal Party, can spend in the same period? And of course, Justin Trudeau's answer was, This is because Justin Trudeau wants to use your tax dollars to advertise things while he's trying to ensure that political parties can't hold his government to account in the same period of time. I find this hilarious. Now, government advertising is used by all political parties, let's be honest. But if we're going to change the election laws such that political parties can only spend so much money in a certain period of time, which we can have a debate about, then shouldn't government advertising, which is paid for by your tax dollars, also be similarly restricted, maybe brought to zero during that time period? I'm not sure Justin Trudeau has really thought this through, or maybe he has and is doing this to make sure that his party has an unfair advantage. And of course, I would be remiss to point out a really gross, negligent thing that happened in this regard this week, and that was the public servants at Environment Canada used the government Twitter account to advertise the Environment Minister, calling her a climate hero and putting this beautiful graphic together. I can't wait to do an order paper question to see how much it cost to do that sort of stuff. So just an example of how the government is politically promoting their ministers. Would be interesting to see that if Justin Trudeau wants to restrict political parties' ability to point these things out, that maybe he should also do the same with government spending. Working hard for you. Have a great day.